The Senate Committee on Natural Resources will now come to order. Will our secretary please call roll?
Chair Cruz Crawford.
Here.
Vice Chair Scheibel.
Here.
Senator Pazina.
Present.
Senator Hansen. Here. Senator Ellison. Present. Thank you.
Thank you. Looks like everyone is here, and we'll be beginning. Our audience in Carson City will be able to listen to this remotely, maybe at a later time, and video conference will be able to see us or hear us later. Before we start, it looks like we don't need to do our housekeeping because everyone, pretty much all the regulars are here. But do remember, if you do have public comment, you can provide written public comment before, after, or during, or after 24 hours preceding the meeting. And we're actually going to start right away with our hearing. Today we are going to hear Senate Bill 499. So now I will open up the hearing in Senate Bill 499, which is a measure that revises provision relating to environmental hazards. And we do have our bill presenters, which is fiscal staff, which will introduce themselves. And you may begin when you're ready.
All right. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, committee members. For the record, my name is Colby Nichols. I'm joined by Alex Hartz. We are here from LCB Fiscal Analysis Division to present an overview of SB 499. Just a reminder, as legislative staff, we don't support or oppose legislation. We are here to give an informational overview of the bill. SB 499 is introduced on behalf of the Joint Money Committees. It relates to several recommendations and actions that were taken by the full Joint Money Committees in their review and closing of the Nevada Division of Forestry budget accounts. Section 1 of the bill relates to the renting out of agency-owned housing. This section allows NDF to rent such agency-owned housing out on a discretionary basis and also allows NDF to retain the rental revenues. Section 2 codifies in statute NDF's ability to request a general fund advance. This is something they currently have the authority to do via back language included in the Appropriations Act. However, this section would codify that ability in statute. Section 3 of the bill establishes a new out-of-state fire suppression executive budget account. This is to separately account for revenues and expenditures associated with out-of-state fire suppression and incident response. The new budget will be established as a permanent, non-reverting budget account. And then to provide starting cash for this new budget account, Section 5 makes a one-time general fund appropriation of $10 million. Section 4 of the bill relates to revenues received for the issuance of a protected plant permit fee for land use projects. Similar to Section 1, the purpose of the section is to allow NDF to retain those revenues. And finally, Section 6 of the bill establishes an effective date of July 1st, 2025. And this bill would implement the budgets for the Division of Forestry as approved by the full Joint Money Committees. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Committee, are there any questions? Yes, Senator Pazina.
At least the microphones work, I guess. Thank you all so much for being here today and presenting this on behalf of the fiscal team. I did have a question. I was just wondering, because we brought a bill that was, and you may know more about this, but it was a fire compact bill earlier this session that's been moving forward. And I was just wondering how that would work along with some of the new accounts that are being set up, the out-of-state fire suppression accounts specifically.
Thank you for the question. And for the record, Casey, State Forester Fire Warden. So the compact bill would tie into this new out-of-state budget account. The compacts would be utilized to go out of state and have folks come in state. So it wouldn't affect those that are coming in. Obviously, those would stick in the other budget account. But this one would be where those bills would go in the out of state. They're kind of conjoined. We can already run out of state, as I said in that bill, with our federal master agreement. This just offers us a different avenue with state to states, the compacts do.
Because we are short on technology, I'm going to give the committee a few minutes to gather their thoughts, look at the bill. Thank you.
We're leaving you in the hot seat.
Senator,
Are you ready for me?
Senator Ellison.
Thank you, ma'am. I do have a question. I was looking at 3.3 or section 3.1. The money that's created from the fire protection fund, where I lost my place. That suppression money, does that come from inspections? Commercial inspections? Where does that money, is that the fund that you're talking about? Okay, so explain to me.
Thank you for the question. And again, for the record, Casey, this is the same fire suppression budget account that we've historically had. They're now separating it into two budget accounts. One will be all out-of-state fires, so those fires where we solely go out of state, and one will remain fires that are in-state, so that those costs are separately visible. So the money will be the same money that's always come and gone. Out of state is fully out of state fires are fully reimbursable. So that's what will be in this new budget account. In-state fires obviously are less reimbursable because we own part of those lands, and so they'll just be visible in different places. So the money that went in is a combination of general fund in the original account, which will now be the in-state budget account. You'll get the wildland fire protection agreement payments in, and revenues that come in from out-of-state or in-state fires will be what makes up this budget account, these two budget accounts.
Follow up, ma'am?
Go ahead.
Okay, and then the other question I have is, the last question is, I'm glad you clarified that. But the buildings that you guys are gonna rent, is that within the fire district's area? Is that what that is? Is like the housing units that they use? Is that what that is?
Thank you for the question. Again, for the record, Casey, we have 3 housing facilities across the state. So we have Bowers, we just got that back from Truckee Meadows. There is a house located on site. We also have a house at our nursery in Las Vegas. And we had 2 houses in Spring Creek. We gave up one, and we actually tore down the other, and we're putting up 3 concrete pads for trailer hookups. And so we were hoping to be able to provide employee housing, not just for the purposes, this isn't just for the Division of Forestry, although we were the impetus. This allows all state agencies to rent and bring in rent. We have these facilities, we want to allow them for people, but the requirement by this is you have to be required to live in that. So when we ran All Risk Fire, we required firefighters to live in that home. We don't have all risk anymore. We want it for the benefit of the people that are coming in, the seasonal firefighters who can't afford rent. So this bill would allow us to rent those facilities and to charge a minimal rent in order to upkeep the facility.
Well, I was kind of hoping you'd say that'd be the Lamoille House, and I'll move in tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
I would be living there too. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That concludes our questions. So if you'll step back, we'll take testimony in support. And just to be clear, it looks like we can only do testimony and support in person right now. But if you still want to provide testimony, you can provide it after the meeting, and we can attach it to the meeting, okay? So right now, we'll open support testimony for SB 499. Seeing none, we are now going to move to opposition testimony for Senate Bill 499. Seeing none, we'll move to neutral testimony. Seeing none, we are now going to invite our our presenters back to share any closing statements.
And this is Colby Nichols for the record, LCB Fiscal. We have no closing remarks. Just happy to answer any additional questions. Thank you for your time this afternoon.
Okay, I will now close the hearing on Senate Bill 499. And next, I'll entertain a motion for due pass 499.
So moved.
We have, okay. I arm wrestle. I will, we have a motion to do pass by Senator Scheibel and a second by Senator Hansen. And is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Okay, that motion carries. And I will assign the floor statement to myself. I will assign the floor statement to myself. And our final order of business is public comment. Anyone here in Carson wishing to provide testimony in public for public comment? Seeing none. I thank you so much for this meeting, and that concludes our meeting. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.